It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello! Ho ho ho! And Merry Christmas! Welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show Special Edition. It's the holiday time! Whoa! And I'm your cook, Uncle Roy, and it's abominable out there. Ooh! Cold and chilly out there. Ooh!
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
And here's Santa's helper herself, Miss Callie Ellies. Oh! Making her entrance. Come on in, Callie Ellies. Oh! Yeah, Santa's helper. Peanut butter shortbread holiday treats. Email me at the Northwoods Cooking Show at yahoo.com and I can email you back the recipe. It's on one of our episodes. I forget which one, the fourth one I think. Anyway, it's a Christmas doggy treat recipe. It's wonderful and it's low fat too. So, Callie gets her Christmas treats, now for ours. And everybody is making their Christmas dinners and their Christmas cookies and sweets. So am I. I've made a lot of them already and I'm still making more. But I thought to myself, what am I going to do for today's show? So I thought, wait a minute, what about Christmas morning breakfast? But everybody would forget about having breakfast. And it's a great way to control the kids too. While they're in there opening their presents and stuff, whatever, ripping things apart, you can be in the kitchen making things. And I'm not talking to you, your wives, the husbands too. Dads can cook just as well. And I made some simple, very easy breakfast foods for you for Christmas morning that aren't going to take much time at all. And you can enjoy the festivities also. But then you can also share something to eat as you're going along. Because first thing in the morning, you know as well as I do, we are hungry. You've been sleeping for 8 hours without food. So what are we going to make for breakfast? Well, one dessert I'm going to make is a Swedish tea ring, the crusty French loaf from Pillsbury. Not advertising Pillsbury, but that's just, the dough works out better because it's a heavier, heartier dough. I looked at Roundy's and they didn't have one. Anyway, Callie, it exploded in my hands. We never got these when we were kids. Oh my Lord. It was a treat to get those cinnamon rolls that came in these things. But we always made everything ourselves from scratch. We didn't have time, or we couldn't afford to buy these things. But nowadays, sometimes pre-made things are cheaper than making them. And they're quicker and faster. So that's why we're doing this, because, not because I'm lazy, because this is what I want to show you that you and your family can make for your Christmas breakfast. And it's going to be quick and easy. And lightly flour our countertop. Here comes Santa's helper. Oh, she's sniffing. Got competition from the teddy bear. Teddy bears might steal all the treats. Better look out for competition, Callie. So what we're going to do is roll this out. And I'll work on this and get back to you when I get it all rolled out so you don't have to sit there and stare at me trying to roll it out. Okay, now I got that all rolled out. You can also take and make sure that the dough is more room temperature and it's going to roll out much nicer. Or you can just take the actual dough itself and unroll it out of the form because it's all rolled into a roll. And just unroll that and let that warm up at room temperature and then just spread it out. So you want like about a 12 by 15 inch rectangle. And we're going to have like about 3 tablespoons of butter, softened. And take and just spread this all over your bread dough here. And up to 1/2 inch at the very end. And the reason being, and on the edge, because when it starts baking, it's going to caramelize with the sugar and cinnamon, and that's going to leak out all over. So you don't want to have all that excess butter on your edge, because then it's going to come oozing and goozing out all over the place. It makes it kind of messy in the oven and on your sheets. So just up to a ½ inch from the end. And then we're going to take sugar and cinnamon. And for this I need 2 tablespoons. And we're putting 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Now we're just going to mix this together. And we'll just sprinkle this all over the butter. Now my oven is preheating right now at 375. And we're just going to spread this cinnamon sugar mixture all over the bread dough. And you can put nuts and fruit in there if you want to. Bring this all together. And the seam side is going to go down. And we just trim off these ends. Now I'm not cutting all the way through here, and I'm using the back of the knife. So I don't want to cut into our countertop. A lot of people do that, make that mistake. Put this ring on it, and just bring the ends together and pinch that together. On the inside end, pinch the inside ends, pinch that together. Then take your kitchen shears, and you can cut like 1/2 to 1 inch wide slits all the way up to the inside of that ring, up to about 1/4 inch from the circle on the inside there. So you just go all the way around, cut that, and this is going to be making our individual cinnamon rolls. Don't cut it through because you want to keep it all together so you can make this ring. Then take and go back and just turn these back out at a 45-degree angle, twist them out. So they look nice and pretty. And that's it, that's a Swedish tea ring. Now we'll take and put this in the oven and bake it at 375 for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the bread is golden brown. See how simple that is? Merry Christmas! Okay, now for our next recipe. This is going to be a potato frittata. Now these are very simple to make. For this recipe, you want to probably double my amount of ingredients because the recipe serves like 6 people, and I don't want to eat that much. I can't. So I'm cutting it in half for myself and for my roommate. But double the recipe for your family. But for just us 2, I'm doing 3 eggs. Go into the bowl. Oh, Kelly Alice, what's going on? She's a little intimidated by the teddy bear. We also need then 3 tablespoons of milk. And I got the frying pan heating up on the stove right now on a medium heat. And then this gets a little salt and pepper. And then on the stove, we have the pan heating up, and we put in about 1 tablespoon of oil. Now it should probably run down the base, but every time we fry something, I'm just afraid that the smoke alarm is going to go off. And we put in our frozen hash browns. And for these, we want the Southern style hash browns. But you can use other regular ones too, and these are the diced potato kind. And I'm just going to put in 1.5 cups. So you need 3 cups for the larger recipe. And now we're going to take and grill these until they're nice and brown, lightly brown. And that's going to take about 7 to 8 minutes. Now to the egg mixture, I'm going to put in about a teaspoon and a half of fresh chives. Tablespoon altogether. I'm just doing half of that right now. And then the other half is going to go on top as a garnish. Oh, fingers. My arthritis. Oh. And then we just take and mix this up. And to that also, I'm going to put in, I need a fork, some roasted red peppers. And you want approximately 2 tablespoons. And sometimes, depending upon what kind you get out of the jars, you can see how big they are. Just that one there should do it. Of course, preference too. You can put in as much or as little as you want. Smelling good in here, Callie. Crispus. And I'm just going to dice this up into small pieces. Now, if you want to, I suppose, you could probably put in some sausage or cooked bacon or some diced ham. I'm not sure that's all your own preference too, but this recipe I'm making is for a meatless one. So you got the red peppers and the chives, red and green, Christmas. Then we'll just wait for these hash browns to brown off. And then we'll be right back. And these are just browning fine. It just takes a while because they were frozen. Like I said, 7 to 8 minutes, not too much longer here. We make a nice Christmas breakfast. Ooh, good. It could be really good, Callie Alice. So do you have any special Christmas memories? Everybody does. Whether young or old, we all got Christmas memories. Oh, I got so many of them. Oh, my Lord. Like I said, I'm from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. We lived on the Chippewa River, so we were just on the north side of Lake Wissota. So we got that cold, bitter wind coming off of the lake. Oh, my Lord. It was cold out there. And I remember, of course, when we were kids, too. Nowadays, you don't get it like we used to do when we were kids. But when I was a kid, which isn't that long ago, we used to have the snow come up to the windows, up to the windowsills all the time, every year. It was always that high of snow, that deep of snow every year. And our January and February, when it gets like 20, 30 below, we have that for like 2 months straight. Now we get it for like 2 weeks, and everybody complains. Well, I'm happy for the 2 weeks, believe me. I couldn't take it when it was that cold. Oh, I hated it. Oh, that just wind, that wind, cold went right through you. And I was living up in Duluth, 79 and 80, and 81. And I was working up at the Village Hill Mall, on top of the hill. Oh, good Lord, that wind off of Lake Superior, that's Siberia. That is not even worth living in. Oh my God. We had 110 below wind chill for 2 weeks straight. I thought I was going to die. It was terrible. I had a 79 Buick Opel, I had a new car, and I couldn't even open up the door. It was frozen shut. When I'm inside and it's all warm, I couldn't get out. It was just like frozen shut when I got to Superior. I lived in Superior, worked in Duluth, and I get over the High Bridge to Duluth. I couldn't even get out of my car. It was just so frozen cold. Oh my God, it was terrible. And going across that High Bridge, good Lord, you took your life in your hands. That wind blowing across that lake, besides being bitterly cold, I thought my car was getting picked up and just thrown right off. It was scarier than hell. That happened to my mom and dad once. They were coming back from grocery shopping, coming over that High Bridge, going back into Superior. And they were the last car over. They closed the bridge because it was too windy out. And my dad said he could see the truck in front of him pulling a trailer, and the trailer lifted up off the bridge. The wind was picking it right up. Oh my God. It's terrible up there. Oh, it's so cold. That's our T-ring. I'm just going to turn it for a little bit and see how that goes. It's coming along nicely. A few more minutes. And our hash browns are almost done browning. So now I'm going to take and get our egg mixture, just fluff it up again. And just pour this right over all of your potatoes. And just swirl it around a little bit just so the egg gets distributed evenly. And we'll let that cook and set. Take your spatula, and you might want to poke down a little side just so you can get evenly cooked potatoes and egg. You don't want to mix it up too badly. That's why we're doing a medium heat, not a high heat, because we want this to set up. We don't want it to burn, so you don't want a high heat, but you still want it to brown. And if you have all that egg on top, it takes longer. So just kind of pull back and let the runny egg mixtures fill into your spaces. And let's see, clean some of this up. Oh, another thing too, I remember when we were kids living on the lake then. It was also, we're going to take and snip in now the, 9 o'clock. The other tablespoon of chives, and put this right on top. When we were kids, we had a fireplace in the middle of the house. One of those old-fashioned stone ones. I mean, you know, field stones, you know, not prefab stuff. The real stuff, the real thing. And we thought Santa Claus had come. Well, he still comes. But I remember how my dad used to trick us into thinking that he was there early before we went to bed. And he used to take a rope and go from the window outside around to the top of the chimney and had bells hanging up inside the chimney. So when we were kids, we were little, running around the house and stuff, he would take and pull that string, and we thought Santa Claus was coming down the chimney. Oh, we got so excited and everything else, and we go running outside to look up at to see if Santa was there. He was teasing us so badly. Oh. Then he would take, because they were hunters, take fur from his deer and stuff off of the pelts, the hides and stuff, and lay it on the snow by the chimney there on the outside and stuff. So we thought maybe the reindeer got caught or something, and it was a fur falling out. And then he'd lay a broken piece of antler or something and say how maybe Dasher broke his antler or something when he was crash landed or something on the roof. Oh my God. He had the stories going for us. It was just too funny. Of course, then we all get excited and we find out that he was teasing us, and we could all sit there and cry and everything else and go to bed and wake up and find out Santa Claus came while we were asleep, which is the way it should be. Don't be teasing your kids. Santa Claus comes when you're asleep and not when you're awake. And that's the song, you know how it goes. So that's setting down. I'm going to turn that off and let that pan just finish off heating it up.